Welcome to Book of Travels, Character Creation. Upon opening Book of Travels, you will need to create an account. Once an account has been created, enter your email address and password. Before clicking the Login button, click on the Switch button. Then select the server region you wish to play on. Characters are saved to the server region they are created on and cannot be played on other server regions. So be sure of your selection before choosing to create a character. These server regions are physical server locations, so choosing the region that is closest to your location will likely give you the best gaming experience. As of the creation date of this video, there are 5 server regions: Asia, EU Central, EU West, US East, US West. Each server region will have a variety of servers available to it. You may play on any server assigned to the server region that you created your character on. Keep in mind, if you want to play with friends, you must all have characters created on the same server region, and you must all be logged into the same server. You may sort servers alphabetically or by population. When finished, click on Set Server, then log in to the game. At the bottom of the character selection panel, click on Create. The first page of character creation is called Form. Here you may cycle through the 12 character forms by clicking the left and right arrows on either side of the form names. The panel on the left has 2 tabs: Portrait, which shows a unique and beautifully drawn and colored character portrait, and Character Model, which shows how each form will appear during gameplay. An option to toggle the character's hood on or off is included. Each form type is given a name, followed by a personality description in the form of a tercet poem. Next, we see the emote icons for happy, amazed, and sad. There are a total of 6 such character emotes that you can use during gameplay: happy, greeting, sad, angry, amazed, and goodbye. Each form has its own artwork for these emotes. There is no in-game chat in Book of Travels, and therefore no direct means of communication between players. Instead, players communicate through a system of emotes. In addition to the 6 character emotes, there are 30 communication emotes which can be used singularly or in groups of 2 to communicate general ideas. For instance, if you wish to know the direction another player was traveling, you may perhaps pair the compass emote with the question mark emote. In response, the other player could use the compass emote plus the up arrow emote to suggest north, or perhaps he or she uses the train emote to express plans to travel by train, or the rest emote to let you know that they are not planning to travel at the moment. Next, we see the character's wind affinity. Of the 12 named forms, 3 of them are born in each of the 4 winds: the north wind, the east wind, the south wind, and the west wind. Every person has a connection to one of the 4 great winds. Affinity with the wind means that you will pay a lower skill point cost for skills of that wind. When you create a character, you may choose one of 3 starting skills. Each of the 3 forms born in any given wind will have the same 3 choices of starting skill. For instance, the Mosswalker, the Goodward, and the Dimmed, all born in an eastern wind, have the same 3 starting skills, namely Guiding Spark, Shelter, Affinity for Water, and Assemble Fireplace. By right-clicking a skill, we can see its name, skill type, description text, and other pertinent information. A starting skill can be passive, an ability, or a knot. More about knots later. Besides these 3 types of skills, there are 2 others: actions, such as resting or attacking, and tea-making. Drinking tea is a way to gain a variety of beneficial long-term effects. Examining the starting skills of the east wind, we see that they are 1 passive, 1 ability, and 1 knot. Skills of the south wind are 2 passive and 1 ability. Skills of the west wind are 2 knots and 1 passive. Skills of the North Wind are 2 ability and 1 knot. Knots are used in place of writing in the land of Braided Shore, but there are also magical knots which create a spell when tied, while untying the knot will cast the spell. Each form has 4 talents: sociality, physicality, spirituality, mechanics, all of which begin with 1 skill point. Of these 4 talents, you will have the ability to add 1 skill point to one of 2 designated talents. For instance, when creating the Mosswalker, you can add a point to sociality or a point to spirituality. When creating the Enfolder, you can add a point to physicality or add a point to mechanics. Let's learn what these talents are and how they affect your character. Physicality. This is the measure of your physical prowess, as well as your ability to intimidate or inspire by sheer might. Physicality is a talent that aids in endeavors. It's primarily used to lift up debris in search of lost items, or sometimes intimidate an NPC into divulging information or to surrender an item. Ribboned, Enfolder, Weatherer, Goodword, and Larker are the forms that can start with a +1 bonus in physicality. Sociality. This is the measure of your social intelligence, your ability to garner feelings of fellowship from others to gain their trust or to manipulate them. Sociality is a talent that aids in endeavors. It can be used to talk an NPC into elaborating further on a subject, and sometimes reveal information they would otherwise keep secret. Crested, Reachant, Gleaner, Weatherer, Mosswalker, Murther, and Veiled are the forms that can start with a +1 bonus in sociality. Spirituality. This is the measure of your attunement to the spirit world and the strength of your perception into the magical realms. Spirituality is a talent that aids in endeavors. It allows access to dormant shrines found across the world. Depending on the talent level required, a shrine will grant worshippers temporary stat increases or transform them into an animal. Spiritual guidance can also be given to an NPC, occasionally leading to a reward. Crested, Ribboned, Gleaner, Dimmed, Mosswalker, Larker, and Murther are the forms that can start with a +1 bonus in spirituality. Mechanics. This is the measure of your understanding of mechanical devices and how fluent you are in the language of logic-related subjects. Mechanics is a talent that aids in endeavors. It can be used to operate mechanisms that control entrances to secret areas, aid NPCs in figuring out a technical problem, and to salvage useful parts from piles of machine parts. Reachant, Enfolder, Dimmed, Goodword, and Veiled are the forms that can start with a +1 bonus in mechanics. Once you choose where to spend your +1 skill bonus, you will be able to progress to the second page of character creation. The second page of character creation is called Background. Here you will choose a first name and a last name. Next, you will choose an upbringing, one of 14 brief histories for your character. The details and background story are optional. The third page of character creation is called Personality. Here you will choose 2 positive traits from a list of 10 and 1 negative trait from a list of 9. Hover over any trait to learn its benefit or disadvantage. Optionally, you can enter your own additional personality details for role-playing purposes. The fourth page of character creation is called Appearance. On this page, you can make changes to the appearance of your character model. These changes will have no effect on your character portrait, but they will change how your character appears in-game. However, due to a limited amount of zoom function, these differences are subtle at best. You can customize your character with 4 different height sizes, 14 different skin tones, and 21 different eye colors. Under the hair section, you can choose between 27 different hairstyles, including no hair, and 11 different facial hairstyles. Additionally, 20 different hair colors are available. You can also choose between 5 different voice styles. Clicking on each one will provide you with multiple samples of that style.
Hey!
Hey.
Hey!
Hey.
Hey!
Optionally, you can enter your own appearance details. The 5th page of character creation is called Equipment. There are 14 character equipment slots, including, but not limited to, clothing, weapons, jewelry, and backpacks. There is also a 16-slot inventory called Belongings. Your character will start off with either 2 or 3 belongings, and either 1, 2, or 3 pieces of equipment. Hovering over any of these items will show you its name and item type, while left-clicking the item will provide you with more detailed information. You cannot manually choose your starting items, but you can click the dice icon to randomize them. If you find a selection that you think you may want to keep, you can store those items, then continue to randomize in the hope of finding something better. If at any time you are unhappy with your current selection of starter items, you can recall your stored items and finish your character creation. Keep in mind that every page of character creation includes a randomizer, which will allow you to create a character in seconds. Once a character is created, the only changes that you may make are changes to its appearance. To do this, choose the character, click on Edit, and make your changes. With your character completed, you are now ready to enter the land of Braided Shore. This has been Book of Travels, Character Creation.